I wanted to do this video today because I wanted to share how my wife and I talk about finances. I have a few friends and family members even who say, oh, my husband handles the finances because he likes doing it, or my wife handles the finances because she's good with numbers. I think it's very important that both people in a relationship understand what their money's doing, where their money's going, and their plans for the future. I created a very simple PowerPoint that my wife do every 6 months. Babe, what do you think about finance date night? Are you excited?
So excited because I get wine.
We call it finance date night. We have a bottle of wine and discuss kind of where we are financially. And I've had a couple friends ask for the PowerPoint that I put together, but it's pretty simple. I'd like to share it with everyone. L&B Finances for Lauren and Brian Finances. And this is the PowerPoint we go over every 6 months. We just have a glass of wine and go over our progress towards our goals. We go over our debts as well as our budget. And for this PowerPoint, all the numbers you see on here are not real. I changed them just because we don't want to put our financial information on YouTube. So we start with savings. We only have 3 different types of savings. This is basically anything that's not in your retirement. We have a house fund. We're trying to pay off our house. That's our only debt. So that's what we're working towards. And then we have an emergency savings, and then we have some crypto. I know a lot of people will have travel savings or car savings or any type of sinking fund, but that's what you would put here. And then on the right, you have another chart, just goes over how close you are to your goal. And then at the very top, you have your progress over the past 6 months. Like I said, the goal that my wife and I have is to pay off our house. So I just went online, looked at a simple calculator to see when our house savings will be at a point to where then we could pay it all off. I know you could put whatever extra money you have directly towards the house, but we put it in a index fund just in case we need that. If you put it towards your house, and if something happens, you won't have access to that. But at least if you put it in that index fund or something like that, you will still have access to those funds if you really need it. But what I did is put in what we currently have in our index fund, how much we contribute to that monthly, and then I just picked over the course of 10 years, and I started with 9% interest. And it gives you a variance range. So I did 3%. So as you can see, over 10 years, if we started with $27,000 in 10 years, it'll be $191,000 if the average return was 9%, and a little bit more than that if 12, and obviously less than that with 6%. So I did this to give me an idea of how long it'll take to pay off our house. And then looking at retirement, goal once again on the right-hand side. Chart is from every 6 months for the past 2.5 years or so. It lists all of our retirement accounts. So my wife has a 401k through her work. I have a Roth IRA that I started a long time ago. And with my company, we don't have a 401k. Depending on the company you work for will depend on what type of retirement account you have. So my company, it's a not-for-profit company. It has a 403b, which usually 403bs are for education. 401a is even different from that. It's very limited for emergency services, so firemen, cops. Most people hear that you can only contribute to the IRS limits for that year for retirement, which is true, but that's per category. So with my wife's, she goes to IRS limit for her 401k. I go to the IRS limit for the 403b, but I also could go to that limit for the 401a. So every year I'm able to put in more than the limit of 25,000 or 26,000 or whatever it is. One of the final slides is a wrap up of everything. So we have our debt, which is our house. We have our assets, which is everything we own, and our net worth is everything we own minus what we owe. finally, one of the most important things is probably your monthly budget. So you know how much money is coming in and how much money is going out. So I have all of our bills listed for the entire month that are reoccurring that I know are going to happen. I also have a certain amount of money set aside for things like food and groceries, shopping and personal care, and then entertainment and fun. So, and if you add all those up, subtract that from how much money you bring in every month, will give you a leftover, how much you can put towards investing. And then finally, upcoming expenses, things that we might want to save for that we know are coming up in the near future. So usually this is something for the house or for travel. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully this will give you some ideas to talk to your significant other about finances. But I think it's very important that both people are on the same page. They know where their money's going and what their progress is.